Welcome to our latest webcast. I'm Pat Dooley, sports columnist of the Gainesville Sun. Of course, Kevin Brockway covers the Gator basketball team for the Gainesville Sun. It's been a busy couple of days for us because obviously the departure of Billy Donovan. It's kind of sad, Kevin, because I know you and I both have had relationships with Billy, to see him leave.
And when you take a look at the legacy, too, 11 years, 9 straight NCAA tournaments, 3 Final Fours, 2 straight national championships. I mean, what more can be said about a coach that certainly gave a lot to Florida during those 11 years, considering where Florida was before he got here. He certainly put it on the national basketball map.
Yeah, small pockets of success, and at least one of them was done through illegal means for Florida and before Billy got here. And somebody asked me if he was one of the most successful coaches in the history of the state of Florida, putting him in the Bowden, Spurrier, Don Shula. And I said, well, the difference is Shula, Bowden, and Spurrier came here and did what had not been done before. Donovan came here and did what had not been done before, but it wasn't expected to be done. Nobody thought Billy Donovan, when he came here, was going to win national titles.
Yeah, and certainly in a state where basketball was the king, as opposed to Florida, right, where you have a state like Florida, a state like Texas, where football, your Friday night lights, you have games every week. Basketball didn't have the same grassroots following, and I think that Billy's built a little bit of that too around the state as well.
Yeah, no question about it. I guess the biggest question, well, there's 2 big questions. The biggest question in the Gator Nation, who will be the coach? A lot of people feel like it's going to be Anthony Grant. Florida's going to meet with him at some point, and we'll see what happens with that. But don't they have to at least, if a Jay Wright or a Bill Self or who knows, a Ben Howland wants to talk to him, don't they at least have to listen to him?
You would think so, just basically because of the state of the job now, where it is compared to where it was when Billy got here. Jeremy made the point that Billy didn't have a lot of college experience, but I think that certainly times have changed around here for Florida basketball. Expectations have changed. No question. It's certainly a lot more of a high-profile job, a lot more high-profile demands, and it may require someone with a little bit more experience. Jeremy, however, did say that experience wasn't going to be an overriding factor. So if you want to keep the recruits and you want to keep the continuity, you may go with a guy like an Anthony Grant. However, if you're thinking long-term down the road, maybe you need a guy like a Self or a Wright or someone with more experience.
I'd do it for $350,000 a year, easily. I'd have no problem doing that. As long as I get the car, and maybe a nice house. The other big question, of course, Kevin, will Billy Donovan succeed in the NBA? And we were just talking about out in the newsroom, there are dozens of coaches who tried it and have been unsuccessful. Most notably, of course, Lon Kruger, who was a coach at Florida and was just a bomb in Atlanta. Leonard Hamilton, Calipari, Carlissimo, Patino up in Boston. But the point I was making earlier is that he's taken over a little better, although I'm not sure how good the Magic are. I mean, they were mediocre. They made a little late run at the playoffs, didn't get in. They've got Dwight Howard. They have a franchise player, which is huge. But the big, how do you think he'll do in the NBA ranks? It's a different game.
Well, I think the big man will start, and he's expected. He's got a young team, and he has experience with younger teams, certainly. And you've got guys like Darko Milicic and J.J. Redick who have some talent, but haven't really showed at that level. So he's going to have to kind of bring that out of them a little bit. But when you have the big man in Howard, you certainly have to start. And, he knows Howard. He had a relationship with him recruiting. I think he kind of joked in the Orlando press conference that if he was such a good recruiter, he should have gotten Dwight Howard there.
Yeah.
But, of course, he's competing against the NBA. He jumps right to the pros. But, this is a league that spits and chews coaches out. I mean, no question. And, certainly the expectations, while it's a good job, the expectations are going to be higher. They're not going to be looking for 40 and 42. They want better than that in Orlando. So he's going to have to succeed right away. He's not going to have maybe even the same honeymoon period that he had in Florida.
He had those 2 years where nobody was real upset when they obviously were terrible the first year, and the second year they went to the NIT, got beat in the first round with Jason Williams, bailed on them. But then all of a sudden it took off for Florida. The thing about the player development, the biggest thing are these guys. He's basically coaching a bunch of seniors. Guys who would be seniors if they were still around in their college years. But obviously the Magic, with no first-round draft pick, they're going to bring somebody in. And if they can bring in a veteran, is that going to be an issue? I think that's one of the things to watch with Billy Donovan. But that's going to do it for today, and we'll join you on the next webcast as soon as possible. This is Kevin Brockway, the Gainesville Sun. I'm Pat Dooley. So long from the Sunshine State.